The April 19th meeting of the Senate Finance Committee will come to order. We only have one bill on the agenda today, and that is Senate File 2684, Senator Kunesh's Omnibus Education Budget Bill. And welcome to the Senate Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really appreciate you having me here this morning and all the members here to hear about this bill. This is our final proposal for the Education Finance Omnibus Bill. It has gone through our Education Finance, it's passed taxes, and now here we are in finance. This bill appropriates $2.5 million in the next biennium to E12 education with a $300 million early education sub-target as part of that $2.5 billion. The tails for 26-27 target for E12 education is $3.3 billion. This bill has a zero levy target. All the revenue streams with levy components that are increased have been neutralized with additional state aid to offset any potential levy increases. I'll just give you a couple of big ticket items here. We have a 4% and 5% formula allowance increase. That 4% increase to the basic education formula allowance is in fiscal year 24, and then the 5% is in fiscal year 25. This would raise the per pupil formula from $6,863 in fiscal year 23 to $7,138 in fiscal year 24, and $7,495 in fiscal year 25. The Senate does not propose linking the formula to inflation, and this is mainly because of the pressure inflation that would have put on the target, which would have left very little ability to support other ongoing educational funding priorities. By not linking the formula to inflation, it has allowed the Education Finance to propose a higher formula allowance than the House and the Governor, and theirs at 4% and 2%, while staying within the targets. And so with that, Mr. Chair, I would like to begin with a technical amendment.
Okay. The technical amendment, is that the A10 one?
It's the A13.
A13 one. And that is in the packets, I believe. Senator Friends moves the A13 amendment. Ms. Hoffer, Ms. Helkseth, is there any, just purely...
Mr. Chair and members, for the record, my name is Jenna Hofer. I am the fiscal analyst for the Education Finance Committee. The A13 is a technical amendment that makes two changes. On line 1.2, it adds language to transfer an appropriation to the Office of Higher Education because the bill language currently makes the appropriation directly to higher ed institutes. And then lines 1.3 and 1.4 update an appropriation to align with the spreadsheet.
Excuse me, on the A13 motion, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on, and I'm going to ask Ms. Hofer to go through the spreadsheet for you so you understand where those dollars are going.
Mr. Chair and committee members, in your packets, you should actually have 3 spreadsheets related to the Education Finance Bill. I will give you a brief orientation to those documents so that you can look at them throughout the committee hearing here, though I will only be walking through one of the spreadsheets that isolates the change items. So that first change item spreadsheet is the smaller sheet of paper, the 8.5 by 11. On the top left corner, it is the net changes from the February 2023 forecast. The bottom right-hand corner, the timestamp is April 14th at 9:48 a.m. That's the one we'll actually walk through. There are 2 other spreadsheets. The second one on the top left is the General Fund Aid Appropriations Summary. In the upper right corner, the timestamp is April 14th at 9:52 a.m. And this spreadsheet shows all of the aid appropriations within the education finance budget. On the left-hand side, going down the columns, you have the programs. Columns A through G list the February forecast amount for fiscal years 2022 through 2027. And then columns H through S show the proposed budget under Senate File 2684. And just on this spreadsheet, I do want to note that you can see the February forecast base for the education budget on page 5, line 364. Under the February forecast, the base is $21.3 billion for the fiscal year 24-25 biennium. For the 26-27 biennium, the base is $21.5 billion. The bill would increase appropriations by the target amount of $2.514 billion, and that would bring the total appropriation for the 24-25 biennium to $23.8 billion. And then in the 26-27 biennium, it's an increase of $3.3 billion for a total of $24.8 billion. And I do want to just note one other section on this spreadsheet. Just below the net general fund total on line 367, you'll see other general fund impacts. And the next several lines include the appropriations that were enacted under Laws 2023, Chapter 18, which was the free school meals bill. And so in order for the spreadsheet to compare the Senate's Omnibus bill to the February forecast, those changes are isolated above, but lines 367 through 384 would show the budget with the inclusion of the free school meals bill. The final spreadsheet that you have in your packets is the levy tracking spreadsheet. This is also on legal size paper. On the upper left-hand corner, it's noted that it's the property tax tracking document. In the upper right-hand corner, it's time-stamped April 14th at 9:20 a.m. Going across the spreadsheet, on the left-hand side, you have the levies that are within the education budget jurisdiction, and then you have the February forecast in columns A through D, G, and J, and then the shaded columns E through F, H and I, K and L show the Senate's proposed changes under the Omnibus bill. On the very last page, on the bottom line, you can see that the total certified levies, as Senator Kunesh mentioned, do not increase above the forecast base. There's actually a slight reduction in each year in order to neutralize the levies within the bill. So members, I will go through the change item spreadsheet now, if that is all right. So on the, again, smaller change item spreadsheet with the timestamp in the bottom right corner of April 14th at 9:48 a.m. You can see at the top right corner is the target for the Education Finance Committee. Again, in fiscal years 24 and 25, the target was $2,514,100,000. And then in the 26-27 biennium, the target is $3.3 billion. The spreadsheet is arranged in a similar fashion to the others, where across you have on the beginning on the left, the program name, and then the following columns show the change from the February forecast base. The sections align roughly with the article structure of the bill. So for those members who would prefer to flip through the bill, you should be able to find, for example, the general education appropriations within Article 1 of the bill, Education Excellence, Article 2. So on line 2, our first change item, the bill proposes adjusting the average daily membership hours for kindergarten students with disabilities. This is a technical change to align the hours for kindergarten students with disabilities with all other kindergarten students. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $140,000, and in the 26-27 biennium, it's $152,000. On line 3 is another technical change that would align the early childhood special education programs with other early childhood programs, making those students eligible for English learner and breakfast aid. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $1,241,000, and in the 26-27 biennium, it's $1,543,000. On line 4 is an appropriation that would increase English learner aid by adding cross-subsidy reduction aid and increasing one of the formula factors. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $138.8 million. In the 26-27 biennium, this is $253.1 million. On line 5 is a proposed formula allowance increase of 4% in fiscal year 2024 and 5% in fiscal year 2025. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $925.4 million. In the tails, this is $1.4 billion. On line 6 are interactions. So what this is when one program adjusts a variable within a funding formula, sometimes that's impacted by another change item. And so in order to isolate the interactions between some of those change item proposals, we've pulled that out. So you can see just the proposals in and of themselves. And so the state aid spreadsheet shows those in greater detail. There's actually 3 of them. So the first is an interaction between the English Learner Aid for Early Childhood Special Education and the increase in the English Learner Cross Subsidy Reduction Aid. The second is an interaction between the Basic Formula Allowance and a proposal to increase the number of voluntary pre-kindergarten and school readiness plus seats. And the third interaction is between the voluntary pre-kindergarten school readiness plus seat increase and the English Learner Cross Subsidy Reduction Aid. In total, these interactions in the 24-25 biennium are $2.9 million, and in the tails, it's just under $4 million. On line 7 is a proposal to provide online learning aid for students in the tribal contract schools. Those are the Bureau of Indian Education students. This is $6,000 per biennium. On line 8 is a proposal to increase operating capital revenue by $2 per pupil in order to cover the costs of menstrual products in schools. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $3.5 million, and in the tails, this is $3.7 million. On line 9 is a proposal that would align Minnesota statutes with federal statute that would require students receiving special education services to stay in school until age 22. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $9.7 million. In the tails, this is $10.2 million. On line 10 is a proposal to expand the number of voluntary pre-kindergarten and school readiness plus seats by 4,000 seats in fiscal year 2024 and later. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $34.8 million, and in the tails, it's $35.8 million. On line 9 is some levy neutralization aid. So in order to ensure that the levies do not rise above the February forecast, but to still account for the changes to the levies, there are a number of programs, the local optional revenue and the operating capital program, where the aid amount is increased in order to keep total revenue the same for those programs, but the levies rise. So for the 24-25 biennium, that's $8.8 million, and in the tails, it's $13.1 million. The Article 2 appropriations begin on line 14. There's a proposal to increase American Indian education aid and to allow students in cooperative units to generate that aid. This in the 24-25 biennium is just under $13 million, and in the tails, it's $14.8 million. On line 15 is a grant to the Alliance of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Latin Americans. This is $500,000 in the 24-25 biennium only. On line 16 is a grant to the Building Assets Reducing Risks Center, and this is a one-time appropriation of $5 million in fiscal year 2024. And I just want to note that this appropriation is available through fiscal year 2026, and that's where you see the superscript number 1 behind the program name. On line 17 is an appropriation for the Compass and multi-tiered systems of support grants. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $10.8 million, and in the tails, it's $29.6 million. On line 18 are grants for emergency medical services training. This is $2 million in the 24-25 biennium only. On line 19 is a one-time appropriation for full-service community schools of $14.5 million in the 24-25 biennium only. You'll note that this appropriation is available through fiscal year 2027. On line 20 is a grant for the Girls Taking Action program. This is a one-time appropriation of $1.5 million in fiscal year 2024 only. On line 21 are Innovative Service Learning Grants. This is a one-time appropriation of $1 million in fiscal year 2024. On line 2022 is a grant to the Junior Achievement North Program for Financial Literacy. This is $1 million in fiscal year 2024 only. Fiscal year 2024 and 25 only. On line 23 is a grant for the Minnesota Council on Economic Education. This is $400,000 in the 24-25 biennium only. On line 24 is a grant to the Minnesota Center for the Book. This is $300,000 in the 24-25 biennium only. Line 25 are increases to the Minnesota Foundation of Student Organizations in the 24-25 biennium only of $200,000. Line 26 is an increase to the Minnesota Math Corps appropriation of $1 million in the 24-25 biennium only. Line 27 is the Museums and Education Centers. This is an increase to base funding, and it also adds in a few museums as well. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $1.6 million, and in the tails, this is $2.6 million. On line 28 are Native Language Revitalization Grants. This is $15 million per biennium. Line 29 is a grant to the Online Access to Music program at McPhail. This is a one-time appropriation of $300,000 in fiscal year 2024 only. Line 30 is a grant to the Pillsbury Foundation for a pilot to improve educational outcomes and accountabilities. This is a one-time appropriation of $300,000 in the 24-25 biennium only. Line 31 is a grant for the Walkabouts program. This is $500,000 in the 24-25 biennium only. On line 33 begin the Article 3 appropriations under the READ Act. Line 34 is for a contract with the Center for Applied Research and Educational Improvement. This is CARI at the University of Minnesota. This is $8.4 million in the 24-25 biennium. On line 35 are professional development grants to help implement the READ Act. This in the first biennium is $32.5 million. In the tails, it's $14.4 million. And you'll note that the fiscal year 2024 appropriation is available through fiscal year 2028. On line 36 is an appropriation to provide a literacy specialist at the Department of Education. This is $500,000 per biennium. On line 38 begins the teachers' article appropriations. On line 39 is a grant for closing educational opportunity gaps. This is $8 million per biennium. Line 40 is an appropriation to the Coalition to Increase Teachers of Color and American Indian Teachers, or TOCATE. This is $200,000 per biennium. Line 41 is the Collaborative Urban and Greater Minnesota Teachers of Color grants. This is an increase of $8.9 million in the 24-25 biennium and $8.7 million in the tails. On line 42 is an increase to the Come Teach in Minnesota hiring bonuses of $200,000 in the fiscal year 24-25 biennium and $400,000 in the tails. On line 43 are increases to the Grow Your Own grant program of $49 million in the 24-25 biennium and again in the tails. And you'll note that in the bill language, this appropriation also includes a little bit of additional funding for the early educator grants. That is shown below in the early education portion of the spreadsheet, and I'll get to that in just a bit. On line 44 is funding to Pellsby for the heritage, language, and culture teachers to increase them. This would be $416,000 in the 24-25 biennium as well in the 26-27 biennium. Line 45 is funding for a report on increasing the number of teachers of color and American Indian teachers. This is a one-time appropriation of $20,000 in fiscal year 2024. Line 46 is an increase to the grants for mentoring, induction, and teacher retention of $1 million per biennium. On line 47 is an increase to the Minnesota Indian Teacher Training Program of $200,000 per biennium. On line 49 is a one-time appropriation for the statewide teacher mentoring program of $9.9 million in fiscal year 2024 only. You'll note that this appropriation is available through fiscal year 2027. Line 49 is a proposal to provide student support personnel aid to school districts and charter schools. And this is $49.4 million in the 24-25 biennium and $99.2 million in the tails. Line 50 is a proposal to provide an FTE at the Department of Education, as well as to provide workforce development training for student support personnel. This is $5.1 million per biennium. On line 51 is a proposal to reimburse teachers for licensing and exam fees. This is a one-time appropriation of $1.4 million in fiscal year 2024 only. On line 52 is an increase to the teacher recruitment and marketing campaign of $500,000 per biennium. On line 54, we begin the special education article appropriations. Line 55 is a proposal to allow certified deaf interpreters to be eligible as a special education aid expenditure. In fiscal years 24 and 25, this is $268,000, and in the tails, this is $610,000. Line 56 is a proposal to cover foster student transportation. This is $519,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $1.2 million in the tails. Line 57 is a proposal to provide paid orientation for paraprofessionals. This begins in fiscal year 2025 at $14.1 million. In the tails, this is $32.5 million. On line 58 is a proposal to provide additional special education aid to federal setting 4 and higher programs. These are separate sites and programs. These are typically the intermediate school districts and cooperative units that provide special education services to students. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $9.5 million. In the tails, it's $10.9 million. On line 59 is a proposal to increase special education cross-subsidy reduction aid to cover 40% of the cross-subsidy in fiscal year 2024, 47.3% in fiscal year 2025, and 60% in fiscal year 2026 and later. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $653.6 million. In the tails, this is $1.1 billion. Line 61 begins the appropriations in the facilities article. On line 62, there are grants for historic preservation at school buildings that are on the National Registry of Historic Buildings. This is $800,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $3 million in the tails. On to page 2, line 64 begins the appropriations within the libraries and nutrition article. On line 65 is an increase to basic system support for the regional libraries. This is $8 million per biennium. On line 66 is to provide a grant to the multi-county, multi-type libraries for additional licensed library media specialists. This is a $1 million appropriation in fiscal year 2024 only. Line 67 is an increase to the aid for multi-county, multi-type library systems of $1.4 million per biennium. And on line 68 is a proposal to provide school library aid to districts and charter schools. In fiscal year 24-25, this is $59.3 million, and in the tails, this is $62.4 million. Line 70 begins the early education article, and I do want to note for the committee that there was a subtarget for early education of $300 million in the 24-25 biennium and $100 million in the tails, and so this section relates to that target and meets that target. On line 71 is a proposal to increase the reimbursement for developmental screenings. This is just under $2 million in the first biennium and just over $2 million in the tails. Line 72 is a proposal to provide 2 FTEs at the Department of Education for early childhood family education support. This is $750,000 per biennium. On line 73 is a proposal to provide additional funding for early childhood teacher shortage to increase the number of teachers there. That's $980,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $1.4 million in the tails. Line 74 is a proposal to increase the amount of funding for early learning scholarships. And just so committee members note, under current law, this is a transfer to the Special Revenue Fund. In the 24-25 biennium, this is $270.5 million. In the tails, this is an increase of $70.5 million. On line 75 is the Grow Your Own Early Childhood Educators portion of the Grow Your Own appropriation. This is an increase of $3 million per biennium, and like the Grow Your Own appropriation, this is a transfer to the Special Revenue Fund. On line 76 is an increase to the Head Start program. This is an increase of $20 million per biennium. Line 77 is a grant to the McPhail Center for Learning with Music for Early Childhood Educators. In the 24-25 biennium only, this is $500,000. On line 78 is a proposal to increase grants to the Parent Child Plus program. This would be an increase of $1.8 million per biennium. And on line 79 is a grant to Reach Out and Read of $500,000 per biennium. Line 81 begins the appropriations in the Community Education and Lifelong Learning article. On line 82 is an increase to the Adults with Disabilities Aid Program. This is an increase of $2.2 million in the 24-25 biennium and an increase of $5 million in the tails. On line 83 is a one-time appropriation for after-school community learning grants of $40 million in fiscal year 2024 only. And I'd like to note that this appropriation is available through fiscal year 2027. On line 84 is an increase to the Community Education Aid Program of $8.6 million in the 24-25 biennium and $18.5 million in the tails. On line 85 is a proposal to provide additional funding for high school equivalency tests in fiscal year 2024 only of $490,000, and this appropriation would be available through fiscal year 2027. Line 86 is a proposal to provide a grant to the Minnesota Alliance of Boys and Girls Club. This is an appropriation of $5 million in the 24-25 biennium. On line 87, is a proposal to increase the funding for regional neighborhood partnership grants. These were formerly the tier 2 grants of the education partnership grants. This is $3.2 million per biennium. Line 89 begins the appropriations within the state agencies article. On line 90, is a proposal to expand staffing and outreach at the Board of School Administrators, or BOSA. This is $128,000 per biennium. On line 91 is a proposal to provide funding for the EdFi data collection system and data reporting. This is used with the school districts to transmit data to the Department of Education. This is $3.2 million in the 24-25 biennium and $4.7 million in the tails. Line 92 is a proposal to provide additional funding for staffing at the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Center. This is $4 million per biennium. On line 93 is a proposal related to litigation fees at the Department of Education for ongoing cases to which the Department of Education is a party. This would be a reduction of the appropriation in fiscal year 2023 of $1.5 million, and then a new appropriation of $7.5 million in fiscal year 2024 only. On line 94 is a proposal to create an Office of the Inspector General at the Department of Education. This is $4 million per biennium. On line 95 is a proposal to provide an operating adjustment to the Department of Education. This would be $9.6 million in the 24-25 biennium and just under $10 million in the tails. On line 96 is a proposal to provide funding for the reasonable force report at the Department of Education. This is $47,000 in fiscal year 2024 only. Line 97 is a proposal to provide a school health services specialist at the Department of Education. This would be $300,000 per biennium. Line 99 are the appropriations for the Purpose Center for Arts Education. Line 100 provides funding for classroom and dormitory furniture. This is $300,000 in fiscal year 2024 only. Line 101 provides an operating adjustment to the agency of $1.4 million in the 24-25 biennium and $1.8 million in the tails. Line 102 provides unemployment insurance aid to the Purpose Center for school hourly workers who are between terms. This is $24,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $48,000 in the tails. Line 104 begins the appropriations for the Professional Educator Licensing and Standards Board, or PELSB. On line 105 is a proposal to increase the number of staff at PELSB. This is $762,000 per biennium. Line 106 is an operating adjustment for the agency of $538,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $682,000 in the tails. Line 108 begins the appropriations for the Minnesota State Academies for the Deaf and Blind. On line 109 is a proposal to provide funding for an audiology booth and additional equipment of $125,000 in fiscal year 2024 only. On line 110 is an appropriation to provide a mental health day treatment program at the state academies. This is $630,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $370,000 in the tails. And I'd like to note that the fiscal year 2024 appropriation of $445,000 would be available through fiscal year 2027. On line 111 is an operating adjustment for the agency of $3.6 million in the 24-25 biennium and $4.1 million in the tails. On line 112 is a proposal to provide additional funding for safety and security technology initiatives. This is $1.3 million in the 24-25 biennium and $825,000 in the tails. And on line 113 is funding to the state academies for unemployment insurance aid for school hourly workers who are between terms. This is $321,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $642,000 in the tails. This brings us to the total general fund appropriation changes on line 115. You'll see that in fiscal year 2023, there's a reduction of $1.5 million. In the 24-25 biennium, there's an increase of $2.5 billion. Added together, this meets the target of $2.5 billion. And in the tails, there's an increase of $3.3 billion, which meets the target of $3.3 billion. There are a couple of additional changes I'd like to mention. There is one change in the restricted special revenue fund. On line 126, the bill would propose to allow the Department of Education to spend online learning application fees. Currently, the fees are collected and deposited into the special revenue fund, but there's no authority for the department to spend that money. On line 126, you can see this is $36,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $14,000 in the tails. On line 129 are the levy changes associated with the bill, and these are within the tax committee's jurisdiction, and those were reviewed by the tax committee. If the committee pleases, we could run through those, or we can move on to the data runs. We certainly can. On line 131 is a levy change related to the earlier proposal to allow special education students to remain in school until age 22. In the 24-25 biennium, this is an increase in the levy of $2 million, and in the tails, it's an increase of $2.2 million for additional pupil units. On line 132 is a proposal to allow cooperative units to receive long-term facilities maintenance revenue. Their member school districts would generate that levy on their behalf. This is $360,000 in the 24-25 biennium, $720,000 in the tails. Line 133 is a related proposal that would allow the cooperatives lease levies. This is $1.6 million in the 24-25 biennium and $3.2 million in the tails. Line 134 is an increase to levies as a result of the additional pupil units in the voluntary pre-kindergarten school readiness plus program. This is an increase of $5.8 million in the tails and $5.8 million in the 24-25 biennium and $6.6 million in the tails. Line 135, there's a slight reduction to the Adults with Disabilities program. This is related to the aid because the program has both an aid and a levy component. In order to keep the bill levy neutral, there were some adjustments here so that the full change item is paid in aid rather than levy. So the slight reduction is $1,000 in the 24-25 biennium and $15,000 in the tails. On page 3, line 136 is similar. It's the community education aid program. The entire change item is provided in aid, but some slight changes were necessary to prevent the levies from rising. Line 136, you can see that's a reduction of $9,000 in the 24-25 biennium and a reduction of $29,000 in the tails. And then on line 137 is the remaining levy neutralization for the local optional revenue and operating capital. In the 24-25 biennium, this is a reduction of $9.8 million. And in the 26-27 biennium, it's a reduction of $12.8 million. So on line 139, you get to the total levy adjustments. In the 24-25 biennium, it's a slight reduction of $11,000 in levies. And in the 26-27 biennium, it's a reduction of $45,000. And Mr. Chair, that completes the spreadsheet walkthrough. I'm certainly glad to take member questions.
Thank you. Questions from the committee? Senator Friends.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Just one question on the litigation expense. Can you share with the committee just a general idea what that includes, how 7.5 million looks, how many cases, what types of areas? Hopefully that informs some other jurisdictions so we can spend less on lawyers.
Mr. Chair and Senator Friends, thank you for the question. Most of this, I believe, is related to, there's one court case, the Cruz-Guzman lawsuit, that is ongoing and I believe is before the state Supreme Court in just a couple of weeks here, and MDE is a party to that. I'm looking to council, is there one additional, or is it just that one? Yep. Thank you. Ms. Lewis noted that there are often challenges to special education law which may require assistance, and these litigation fees are paid to the Attorney General's office for their assistance in the cases in defending the Department of Education.
Thank you. That's helpful. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Hofer, Ms. Helkseth, are you going to go through the language? You going to? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. If you'd like, I can go through the district runs that were included in your packets, or if you want, I can move on to the language.
Do people want to go through the district runs? No pressing need to. Go
Excellent.
ahead with the language.
Okay, great. So for the record, my name is Betsy Gelseth. I'm the nonpartisan analyst on the Education Finance Committee, and Ms. Lewis and I will do a brief walkthrough of the bill language to point out which sections of the bill match up to Ms. Hofer's spreadsheet she just walked through. So Article 1 is the general education article. Section 2, starting on page 2, this actually has 3 sections in Article 1. Sections 2, 3, and 7 allow for online learning for students enrolled at Bureau of Indian Education schools. This was a governor's proposal. On page 3, section 4 updates the definition of English learners to include an early childhood special education student. Section 5 on page 5 was a Senator Umu Verbatim bill, and this increases the per pupil allowance from $704 to $1,000 for English learners, and it also phases in an English learner cross subsidy aid of 25% starting in fiscal year 2024, 50% in fiscal year 2025, and then 75% for fiscal year 2026 and later. On that same page 5, section 6 is a Senator Rarick bill, and this calculates the pupil unit of a kindergarten student with a disability so that they are calculated the same as a kindergarten student without a disability. Moving on to page 7, this is the basic revenue. This sets the formula allowance at $7,138 in fiscal year 2024, and then increases it to $7,495 in fiscal year 2025 and later. Section 9 on page 7, and that is a local optional revenue section, and this updates equalizing factors to make sure the bill is levy neutral, starting in fiscal year 2025. Section 11 on page 9 was the Senator Swadzinski bill, and this increases the operating capital revenue for a district by 2 times per pupil to help pay for the supply of menstrual products. Section 12 is similar to that Section 9 on page 9, and again, it adjusts the operating capital levies, so the bill is levy neutral. Section 18 on page 13 makes school employees working in other than instructional, research, or principal administrative capacities eligible for unemployment benefits between school terms if they otherwise meet unemployment eligibility requirements. Moving on to page 15, this is the English Learner Cross-Subsidy Reduction Aid, Section 19, and it removes the $2 million of English Learner Aid for fiscal year 2024 and 2025. And this relates to us increasing the English Learner revenue in an earlier section of this article. Section 20, starting on page 16, updates the effective date for laws from 2021, and this relates to Article 1, Section 20 of the bill, and then Ms. Hofer went over the appropriations section starting on page 16, Section 22. And then Ms. Lewis will do Articles 2 through 4.
Ms. Lewis, welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members. Again, Anne-Marie Lewis, Senate Counsel to the Education Committees, and I'm going to start on Article 2, which begins on page 18. The first section is the language for the COMPASS, which is the Collaborative Minnesota Partnerships to Advance Student Success. And it is to provide all districts and charter schools with training opportunities to support them in areas of literacy, math, social emotional learning, and mental health within that MTSS framework, which is the multi-tiered systems of support. If you then go to page 21, section 3 is the language for the full service community schools. Then following on page 30, section 6 is the language for the American Indian Education Aid. Then moving along to page 32 is a grant program. It's the Innovative Incubator Service Learning Grants, which are student-led service learning opportunities. Then page 35, section 8 is a pilot program to improve educational outcomes and accountability, which goes to the Pillsbury United. And then section 9, page 36 is the beginning of the appropriations, which Ms. Hofer walked through in her spreadsheet walkthrough. That's the end of Article 2. Then flipping pages to page 51 is the beginning of Article 3, which is the READ Act. And READ Act stands for the Reading to Ensure Academic Development Act. And the entirety of the appropriations or sections in this article are related to that act. And it is an act that amends the state's literacy goal to have every student being able to read at or above grade level in every year of their education instead of the limited look at grades kindergarten through 3. Then there's a focus on the literacy instruction to be evidence-based reading instruction. The focus on student mastery of the foundational reading skills of phonemic awareness, phonics, and fluency, as well as the development of oral language, vocabulary, and reading comprehension skills. There's a task to the department with the CARE group at the U to find curriculum that is appropriate, staff development trainings that are appropriate, and as well as screening tools for kids in grade kindergarten through grade 3. Then there is on page 61, some READ Act implementation, which is some tasks to the department, as well as they're working with Carrie, and which I mentioned before with curriculum, screening tools, professional development. There's also development of measures, of outcome measures for districts to report back to the agency and then to the legislature. Then moving on to the end of that article, on page 67 is language that is new uses for literacy incentive aid. Currently, literacy incentive aid is given to the schools that earn it, and they can use it for whatever they like. But now this will focus the use of those aids to either training for kindergarten through grade 12 teacher or all teachers in that evidence-based screening and progress monitoring. But the priority is in the early years. And then evidence-based training for that the department finds the training programs, that they approve them. And then there's a requirement to have a literacy lead, and they can use the literacy incentive aid to employ or contract with a literacy lead. Then there's also the use of the aid for materials, training, and ongoing coaching for the reading interventions, make sure they're evidence-based, as well as the structured literacy curriculum. And then section 14 is the appropriations for the READ Act that Ms. Hofer went through. Page 69 is the beginning of Article 4, which is the teachers article. Many of these provisions came in the Teachers of Color Act that Ms. Hofer mentioned, but the first section is a grant program that's for closing educational opportunity gaps, and that is to support implementation of certain aspects of the world's best workforce. It's to the strategies to improve instruction, curriculum, and student achievement, as well as educational effectiveness practices. Then on page 72, section 4 changes some of the testing required for teacher licensure, eliminates the skills exam for tier 4 teachers, and then it directs the Pellsby Board to revise rules for applicants of Tier 3 and Tier 4 licenses if they haven't completed a state board-approved preparation program that has includes some of the testing. Then on 73 in that same section is a direction to all the testing centers of what they need to do and providing free practice tests, free study guides, also opportunities for retaking the exam without additional fees. Then page 77, section 10 is the Come Teach in Minnesota hiring bonuses and some changes to that language. Page 79 is the supporting heritage, language, and culture teachers, which is a direction to Pellsby to develop a program that allows teachers to either get, they have to either get an additional license, an initial license, or a dual license in heritage language education. Then section 12 on page 81 is the Collaborative Urban and Greater Minnesota Educators of Color Grant Program. And this section contains some changes that were recommended by the Office of the Legislative Auditor to help kind of define the program focus and outcome measures, as well as a bit more clarity in the grant award process by Pellsby. Then on page 85 is section 13 is the teacher mentorship and retention retention of effective teachers grants. And then I think there's one more highlight. Yes, page 91, section 17 is the student support personnel aid. And previously that had been a grant program, but now it's an aid program. And then section 18 on page 93 is the beginning of the appropriations sections. There's two sections in this chapter, or this article, because there's appropriations to Department of Education and then also to Pellsby. And that's the end of Article 4.
Mr. Chair and members, moving on to Article 5, that is the special education article, starting on page 99. Section 1 was the governor's proposal. There's sections 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7 all relate to this provision, which allows a student with a disability to be eligible for free public school enrollment until the pupil's 22nd birthday. Section 3 on page 100 is Senator Gustafson proposal. It adds a certified deaf interpreter to the allowed types of certifications required for a person employed by a school district to provide American Sign Language or English interpreting or sign transliterating services. It makes employees who meet the requirements for an American Sign Language or English interpreter essential personnel when calculating special education aid. Section 4 on page 102 includes the cost of providing transportation services for a student with a disability that is placed in a family foster home for purposes of computing special education aid. Section 8 on page 108 is a Senator Westland bill. It requires a school district to give a paraprofessional paid time or time during the school day to review a student's IEP or be briefed on the student's specific needs by appropriate staff before working alone with that individual student with a disability. It also requests the school districts to ensure that paraprofessionals, Title I aides, and other instructional support staff be annually given a minimum of 16 hours of paid orientation or professional development. Section 9 on page 111 is another Senator Westland bill, and this increases the special education cross-subsidy to 40% for fiscal year 2024, 47.3% for fiscal year 2025, and 60% for fiscal year 2026 and later. Section 10 on page 111 is a governor's proposal. It defines special education separate sites and programs as a public separate day school facility attended by students with disabilities for 50% more or of their school day, and then it makes an education cooperative, education district, service cooperative, and intermediate school district eligible for additional state funding. Section 12 on page 115 is the appropriations section for this article. Article 6 is the facilities article, starting on page 117. Section 1 is the Senator Dames article, and this allows a joint powers district under section 471.59 to have its member districts include in their levy authority a proportionate share of the long-term maintenance costs of the joint power districts. On that same page, another Senator Dames proposal, it allows a cooperative unit under section 123A.24, subdivision 2, or a joint powers district under section 471.53 to have its member districts include in their levy authority the costs associated with leases of administrative and classroom space. Section 8 on page 122 is the appropriations article, appropriations section for that article. Article 7 is the nutrition and libraries article, starting on page 125. That is the Senator Kunesh provision. Sections 3 through 6 all relate to modifying the distribution of aid to regional public libraries. On page 127, section 7 is a Senator Kunesh proposal. It creates a school library aid funding stream for school districts and charter schools that equal the greater of $15 times the adjusted pupil units for the school year, or $50,000, and it requires school library aid to be reserved and used for specific listed purposes. On page 8, section 8 on page 127, this section adjusts the school lunch appropriation amounts to account for the extension of the voluntary pre-kindergarten and school readiness plus seats. And then on that same page, section 9 adjusts the school breakfast appropriations to account for the extension of voluntary pre-kindergarten and school readiness plus again. So one impacts school lunch appropriations and the other impacts the school breakfast appropriations. And then section 10 of Article 7 is the appropriations section, starting on page 128. Article 8, early education, that starts on page 131. Section 2 is the Senator Kunesh provision. It increases the developmental screening aid per child or student screened to $98 for a child screened at age 3, $65 for a child screened at age 4, $52 for a child screened at age 5 or 6 prior to kindergarten, and then $39 for a student screened within 30 days after first enrolling in a public school kindergarten if the student has not been previously screened. Section 3 on that same page, 131, is a Senator Kunesh proposal. It makes permanent the 4,000 additional seats in the voluntary pre-kindergarten and school readiness plus program. And then Section 7 is the appropriations section starting on page 134. Article 9 is the community education and lifelong learning article. Section 1 on page 138 is a Senator Latz proposal. It increases the general community education revenue for fiscal year 2025 and later by increasing the dollar amount per pupil from $5.42 to $7. And that takes into account the district's population. And then Section 2 is related to that community education increase in revenue because it ensures districts stay levies stay neutral at the statewide level. Section 3 on page 139 is a governor's proposal. It requires that grants be used to offer a broad array of academic enrichment activities that promote positive after-school and summer learning activities, and then it allows the commissioner to award grants to community or nonprofit organizations, culturally specific organizations, American Indian organizations, tribal nations, political subdivisions, public libraries, or school-based programs that serve youth outside of the school day. Section 6 on page 142 is a governor's proposal. It extends the requirement that the commissioner cover high school equivalency tests covered those costs until 2027, subject to the availability of those funds. Section 7 is a Senator McQuaid proposal. This is on page 142 again. It increases the Adults with Disabilities Program revenue for fiscal year 2025 and later, and then it also creates a tax rate to ensure that there's no levy increase statewide. Article 10 is the state agencies article starting on page 148. Section 1 is a Senator Bolden proposal. This requires the department to employ a school health services specialist to provide technical assistance to school districts and charter schools for the education-related health needs of their students, to serve as the primary source of information related to health matters, and to serve as the primary liaison to the Department of Health and other state agencies. Section 2 on page 149 is a governor's proposal. Paragraph D requires districts to report data on their use of any reasonable force used on a student with a disability to correct or restrain that student to prevent imminent bodily harm or death to the student or another. And then paragraph E of that section requires districts, beginning with the 2023-2024 school year, to report data from the prior year on any reasonable force incidents. Section 3 is a Senator Putnam proposal starting on page 150. It requires the department to employ 2 full-time equivalent staff to serve as resources for early childhood family education programs. And it requires each staff person to hold a valid license as a teacher of parent and family education. Section 5, starting on page 151, is a governor's proposal. It requires the commissioner to establish within the department an office of the inspector general, and then it states that the office of the inspector general is charged with protecting the integrity of both the department and also states and the state by detecting and preventing fraud, waste, and abuse in department programs. And then subdivision 2 of that section requires the commissioner or commissioner's designee to hire an inspector general to lead that office. Section 6 on page 151 cancels the $1.5 million from the fiscal year 2022 appropriation for legal fees and costs associated with litigation and cancels that money back to the general fund. And then on page 153, there are 4 sections related to appropriating money to the Department of Education, the Minnesota State Academies, the Perpich Center for Arts Education, and then lastly, section 11 is the Professional Education Licensing and Standards Board. And then Article 11 starting on page 155 is the forecast article, and this adjusts fiscal year 2023 appropriations to conform to the February 2023 forecast. And that wraps up the bill walkthrough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Questions from the committee? Senator Kunesh, I noticed as a former school librarian that you are putting the basic library aid into the formula, which I understand, I think it makes some sense, but it's interesting it takes somebody who has the experience there to recognize why that's important.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, for recognizing that. And as a school library media specialist for 20 years and having worked as a reference library in a public library as well, funding in that way has always been a topic of conversation, and the instability has really sometimes compromised the quality of services that we can provide, the quality of resources that we can provide, and there has not been much attention to this for quite some time, and so I'm very happy to be able to be in a position to assist and provide those fundings and that support.
I do have one question under the READ Act of Professional Development. Elsewhere in the bill, and the committee likes to have it, that money is spent only in the period we measure. And I noticed that the professional development funding, the $32 million, page 68, is available until June of 2028. We generally do it till June of 2027. Is there a particular reason for having it go out that extra year, or?
Yes, Mr. Chair, there is, and the reason is because as we are getting our teachers trained in the literacy program, we realize that we're not going to be able to get everyone trained or everybody on board. Hopefully, we will have an influx of new teachers that we are going to be able to bring in and get them also up to speed on the literacy programs. And so we wanted to make sure that we were funding that program far enough in advance to be able to anticipate that.
Thank you. Senator Pappas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to add on to the library comments, I know how important libraries were to me as a child. I used to bike to the local library and come back with 8 books every week or so. And certainly school libraries are even more important to our young people. I don't know, no one remembers this but me, because in the old days, I say, around here, we actually had a joint library subcommittee with the House, and we would always have Library Day. That was a really important day here at the Capitol, where all the library associations, schools, and public libraries would come to the Capitol and have their day on the Hill, and I just haven't seen that in a long time. So I think that this is a really good way to kind of reinvigorate support for libraries. And Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd also like to just thank you for an excellent bill. This issue of cross-subsidy for both special ed and English language learners has been a point of contention for our school districts for decades, and I really applaud you for kind of taking that on and really trying to solve that issue for our districts, plus a very good formula increase. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And as you know, libraries are near and dear to me. When I was a kid, I grew up in it was the village of Sartell at the time, and we actually had a bookmobile that came out. And that really spurred my love for books. And it really made a difference to our community to have that kind of access to the books, and it was like the highlight of our week that the bookmobile was coming. And also thank you for recognizing our investment in EL and SPED. It's so important that we are making sure that those funds are going to the students that probably need it the most, ensuring that, or at least helping to the general fund of the schools so that they can do the good work that needs to be done as well.
Senator Murphy, would you be willing to offer the boilerplate A10 amendment that's in the packets on financial review we've been putting on the other budget bills?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to offer this. It has become boilerplate language in this committee. Senator Kunesh, this is an amendment that adds strengthens our proposals dealing with grants and the way that they are reviewed and treated. And with your okay, I'd like to offer the A10 to your proposal.
Thank you, Senator Murphy. I think this is a really important amendment, and important so that when we are relying on our nonprofits or outside groups outside of the government who are helping us, who are partnering with us, who are collaborating with us, who probably know our communities the best, that we are ensuring that the funds that we are using, our taxpayer dollars, are being used in the best way, and that we do have those safeguards to ensure that it is going to be used in the best way for our kids.
On the Murphy A10 amendment, is there further discussion? Senator Champion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Kunesh, I just want you to be clear that this amendment is not just for nonprofits, and I just want to always raise that, because when we talk through that frame, that always causes me some trepidation, because when we think about being responsible for taxpayer dollars, it should not be assumed or implied that we only need to do that with nonprofits. So I just want to make sure that we're clear that this A10 amendment is for both, and that we should probably not just link it to nonprofits. I don't know if that's a fair way by which to think about it. Thank you.
And Senator Champion, thank you for having pointed out, and we changed the language in this to help address that as you recommended. Further discussion on the A10? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion prevails. Senator Kunesh, I see an A11 that I'm told is a technical amendment. Is that from you as well?
Yes.
Senator Murphy, would you be willing to offer the A11?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I offer the A11 amendment.
And this is just some technical changes to correct any issues within the bill.
And Ms. Hoffel, could you speak to, in case there, because I'm told there may be some other things you want to mention too.
I'm sorry, Senator, or Mr. Chair, this is to add adult basic education to the bill, and I'll ask Ms. Hofer to explain it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair and committee members, the A11 in front of you does two things. I'll start kind of at the bottom half of the amendment. On, let's see, beginning line 1.6 through 1.16, what the amendment does is it would increase the amount of funding for adult basic education programs. The increase would be about $900,000 in fiscal year 2024 and about $2.5 million per year after that. In order to keep the bill in balance then, lines 1.2 through 1.5 would adjust the appropriation for Compass and multi-tiered systems of support to reduce that to essentially keep the bill at the target.
Thank you. Senator Murphy moves the A11 amendment. I'll just say, whenever I speak to adult basic ed classes and so on, I keep thinking what a difference that makes in people's lives and turning them around. So I'm glad you're putting some more money into that. Senator Draheim on the A11. Further discussion on the A11. If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion prevails. Senator Draheim.
Thank you, Chair Marty, and thank you, Senator Kunesh, for bringing this bill forward. I was just looking at the special education cross subsidy for my kids' school, and it's on page 4. It's Cleveland, so it's $391, and just looking for a little understanding. When you look at the fiscal year 24, their special education cross subsidy is about 103. And then for 25, it goes down to 69 and a half about. Can you just help me understand why the big difference between the two?
Mr. Draheim, I'm going to, or Senator Draheim, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask Ms. Joseph to discuss that.
Ms. Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Senator Draheim, for the question. What district are you looking at? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yep, 391.
Thank you.
It's on page 4 on both the year 24 and the year 25. Cleveland. and members, I just didn't see a pattern when I looked at some of the other schools in my district where there was that big a disparity. So when I go back to district, I need to be able to explain to my constituents what happened.
Thank you, Senator Draham, and I appreciate the minutes so I could look at this. So that's a great question, and special education cross-subsidy really looks at revenues versus expenditures and then subtracts those. So including this in a run at the statewide level is very accurate. MDE has to project expenditures in the out years, which we use from the prior year, so it's really difficult to know what's happening at the district level, which is why there's a caveat at the bottom that the special education data is estimated at the district level. So the statewide cross-subsidy number at the top, again, is very accurate, but it's just a very rough estimate because we don't know what districts are spending, which is like the English learner cross-subsidy that is in this bill. We didn't want to include it in a district run because it has the same issue. Special education is something we have been including, so I didn't want to take it away, but that's kind of more of, until we get to those years, we won't exactly know. So that's one that you can't really, we don't really know the exact numbers at the district or charter school level. I hope that makes sense.
Mr. President.
Senator Draheim.
Thank you. And just to point out, that here in 24, the far right column, the total is 632, and then it goes up to 967. But it is considerably smaller number than almost every other school district on there, and that's just alarming to me that small school district with not a lot of resources, not a lot of tax base, would have a decrease in that category that I think we all know is so important. So I don't know, Senator Kunesh, do you have anything to add to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Senator Draheim, I'm going to rely on the practice of the state government as we've done that, but I know that as time goes by, those numbers are reconsidered. And when it comes to special ed, if I'm not mistaken, those are, you bill them after, you bill the district or the state after the services have been provided. And so I'm assuming these are just a best guess estimate that would be able to, you'd be able to make those adjustments when you have the actual students that you have serviced.
And
Mr. Chair.
Senator Draheim.
Thank you, Senator Kunesh. I just surprising that they would be higher next year and then drop quite a bit. And unless the, I'm sorry, do you have something to add?
Ms. Joseph will respond.
Mr. Chair and Senator Draheim, thank you. And I would just add that, so at the statewide level, what MDE does is the final data is for fiscal year 2022, but then they, based off their fiscal year 2022 amounts, they proportionately extrapolate those amounts into the later years. So something could have happened with that school district, Cleveland, that maybe their reporting was a little bit down. Something could have been a little kinked with the data. So it's sometimes, it's not going to be perfect again with the special education cross subsidy because the other areas on this bill mostly, or the other funding streams are mostly based off of pupil counts, except the formula allowance is tied to some things like the area of the district, or, there's different formulas that are tied into it. So it's majority pupil counts, but I think looking at the total column that you are talking about, the special education probably makes it even less than it is. And that's to say that when we get out to fiscal year 24, fiscal year 25, that number could be increased depending on what their fiscal year 23 reporting was for their special education expenditures, and then again with their fiscal year 25. So I hope that helps a little bit, but.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, for budgeting purposes, I don't know how these small schools do it, having a big change like that, but I'll end it there. And that's, Mr. Nellman, do you have anything to add on?
Never having been a business manager at a school district, I'm not sure I can speak to that exact point, but I think that when school districts, I think Ms. Jelseth mentions the larger point that there's a lot more confidence in the total special ed number and less confidence when you drill down at the individual school district level. I think members would be wise to use this in this specific column with a grain of caution, that the granularity in the data is less precise there than it would be, say, for the basic formula allowance, where I think this data run would provide you a lot more confidence. But the E12 staff and I have been sort of texting back and forth. I think what we'll do is drill into those data a little further and see if we can refine that answer for you, and see if there's anything in particular in that district, since you raised it, that we can provide you more information on.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Hoffer, I was just looking at some of the increases for the state agencies. Pellsby is looking at a 9.5% operating increase, but then we've got another 13.4% going to new staff. So we're looking at a total increase of Pellsby of almost 23%. Is that, am I reading that correctly?
Ms. Hofer, go ahead.
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, thank you for the question. So you're correct that there are two different change items related to Pellsby, both of which would, to some or all degree, impact the number of staff at the agency. So with the increase to the number of staff, that would provide 3 additional FTEs per fiscal year, and then with the operating adjustment, it would be 1 additional FTE for maintaining those current service levels. So that is an increase of about 4 FTEs per year. So that'd be an increase of about 19% in the total FTEs at that agency. And so yes, that would also increase the budget for Pellsby as well. And I don't have the exact percent of that budget on me now, but I could pull out a calculator if you want to do that math right now.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Kunesh, can you help me understand why Pellsby needs 3 to 4 extra people?
Senator Kunesh.
Sure. So from my understanding, Pellsby has been running understaffed, which means that they have not been able to provide the best service to our teachers that are going through licensure and the teachers that do have the licensure. One of the areas that really needs some extra help and some support is the portfolio program for teachers that are moving between tiers. There has not been the technical support in that area, as well as the individual support, which means that as teachers are creating this portfolio to prove their proficiency for licensure, they haven't been able to upload the documents, in a timely, easy way. Feedback to those teachers that are going through the portfolio program has not been the best, it hasn't been as timely or as supportive to those teachers. And so recognizing that there is a lot of work to do within that area and the work that Pellsby does, this is their request, and I'm happy to support it.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In addition, we're giving a 21% increase to the Department of Education. Can you help me understand why we're seeing such a huge operating increase in the agency?
Again, from what I understand, there has been little increases over the years, and as the work increases, as we want to make sure that our schools and the programs have the supports that they need, they have identified these different positions and have requested those dollars so that we have the efficiency and the support for our educational program.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, making sure we put our students first has always been one of my key areas of focus. Help me understand, what types of positions are we hiring, and how will they help students?
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, I can speak to the additional FTEs that will be added as a result of the bill, and then if Senator Kunesh has additional comments, she can fill in what I've missed. So there are 3 additional types of FTEs that are added individually within the bill. One is a school health services specialist, which would be a licensed school nurse at the Department of Education. There would be 2 FTEs for early childhood family education, or ECFE support. And then there would be another one for student support personnel. And then additionally, within the Department of Education, there would be new staff for the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Center, as well as a new Office of the Inspector General. Oh, there's one other one I missed. There's a literacy specialist at the department through the READ Act. So that's the majority of new staffing within the department.
Senator Pratt, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's my understanding that the equity, diversity, and inclusion is not new staff. In fact, there are 14 staff already on that, in that department. Isn't that correct?
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, so correct. So it would be new general fund dollars. I should have clarified that. I apologize. So it's new general fund dollars for those staff members. They were previously funded with federal dollars through some of the COVID-19 acts.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Hoffer, it's my understanding COVID dollars were meant to help the state make its way through the pandemic. Are you saying we hired 14 people on one-time funding with federal money, and now now the request is that we're expecting to pick that up on an ongoing basis in the general fund? Am I reading that right?
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, thank you for the question. So within the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office, there are a number of staff. There's more than 14. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but a part of them are funded with general fund dollars, and a portion were new positions that were funded with federal dollars to provide additional supports to students as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was an allowable use of federal dollars. So it would be up to the legislature to choose if they wanted to continue those positions with general fund dollars or not. This was a governor's budget recommendation to continue those positions that the Senate Omnibus picked up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Ms. Hoffer, there was additional need during COVID. Now that we are through, for the most part, COVID has become endemic. Do we still need those staff people, or can we go back to what was previously in the department?
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, thank you for the question. I think to a good degree that's a bit of a policy question that Senator Kunesh may be better suited to answer. Thank you.
Senator Kunesh, would you like to?
Sure. I am confident that not only the governor and the programs that these, and the support systems that these 14 employees have provided for our schools, for our students, for our communities, that these are dollars well spent to ensure that we continue to have the kind of supports that they have provided during a really hard time. And as we are working our way hopefully out of it, that those personnel will be able to make sure that those services are provided to our students.
Senator Pratt, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There was Senator Kunesh, I just got to say, I mean, we had certainly we had a need, and I think it's incumbent on us to make sure that tax dollars are spent in a way that benefit our kids, not our state agencies. And while we maybe had an increase in the demand during COVID, specifically for COVID, it seems to me now that we should be able to wind that back a little bit. But let me ask about the extension of special education services to age 22. I think you mentioned that was a federal requirement. That's news to me. And I'm wondering if somebody can tell me when that federal requirement changed, or have we been out of compliance for a long time?
I'm going to just stick my neck out there. I don't think that it is a federal requirement, but it is certainly something that we as a state can decide to do that, to extend it. I know personally, with family members as well as many of the students that I have interacted with over the years, that those services and the programs and the services and the relationships that our schools provide as our kids with disabilities transition into that adulthood has been very successful in that it helps them to kind of move into like a PSEO program where maybe they are going to local community schools, having that more mature adult experience. Oftentimes it's the ability to work in a job that they might continue to do once they graduate. But these wraparound services are definitely an important investment in ensuring that these students and these young adults have the resources, the skills, and the support to become a really valuable part of our community.
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt and I can speak a bit to that question as well. So under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, there is a requirement that a free and appropriate education be provided to students ages 3 through 21, and that's inclusive. So that would be up through their 22nd birthday. But under Minnesota's current statutes, the students, I believe, would only be eligible through the school year in which they are 21. So this would allow them to be in full federal conformity with that requirement.
Further discussion?
Sure.
Oh, I never wasn't quite sure if you were asking for more. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Kunesh, you've got changes to the unemployment system, making seasonal workers eligible for unemployment, touching on Chapter 268. Can you tell me, did your bill go through the Jobs Committee?
I believe it was Senator McEwen's bill.
Correct. It did not go through the Jobs Committee. We did not hear it in Jobs.
I think it went through Labor. I don't remember where it went, but Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator McEwen's bill went to Education, Finance, Higher Ed, was referred to Jobs on March 27th, but never heard. Senator Kunesh, can you tell me, can you show me where in the bill or where in the spreadsheet we're providing additional money for districts to pay for that unemployment insurance? Because if I understand, while they can levy for unemployment insurance today as reimbursable employers, you've prohibited them from levying in this bill.
So, Mr. Senator Pratt, we don't have a line item specifically for that, but we did include it in our formula, and I'm not sure what that is. Oh, fiscal. Fiscal note is $135 million in the first year, and then.
Do you want me to just?
Yep. Why don't you, Ms. Joseph?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt. So I think the thought behind the bill was we put in an extra or an additional 2% on the formula starting in fiscal year 25, which is about $140 million, and the fiscal note for that unemployment insurance bill that would allow hourly workers to receive unemployment insurance benefits between terms was about $135 million.
And I noticed for the schools that the state has full responsibility for, you do have a adjustment for that, but that's just Purpose Center and so on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, sorry, there's line items for a few that don't actually receive a formula allowance increase, such as Perpich. So that's why they receive the line item, because they're not receiving any of that additional 2% to help cover the cost of the unemployment insurance benefit.
Further discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Senator Pratt, then Senator
Thank you,
Westrom.
Mr. Chair. So, Ms. Hoffer, can you give, if this was a 2% add to the formula, can you tell me what the formula increases were for fiscal year '24, fiscal year '25? And if we have any planned fiscal, I don't believe we have any formula changes planned for fiscal '26 and '27. So if you could just confirm that for me, and I'm reading the spreadsheet correctly.
Mr. Chair and Senator Pratt, thank you for the question. So under the bill, there would be a formula increase of 4% in fiscal year 2024. That would be about $275 above the current base for fiscal year 2024. In fiscal year 2025, there would be an increase of an additional 5% or an additional $357. And this would bring the formula to $7,495 per pupil. There are not increases to the formula allowance for fiscal year 2026 and later.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Senator Kunesh, it's your according to what you just said, if we were to take 2% out of FY25, we're giving schools net 3% increase for basic education services?
Mr. Chair?
Senator
Yes,
Kunesh.
that would be correct.
So instead of a 4%, a 5% increase in the formula, as we would typically review it, we're really looking at about a 4% and a 3% increase.
In essence, Senator Pratt, the one thing is that when we received the fiscal notes, we felt that it was elevated from what we had anticipated, and that therefore any of those dollars that were used would go towards the UI. Whatever is not would stay in the general fund.
Senator Pratt.
And if it was a separate appropriation, it would cancel back to the general fund.
Thank you. I'll let others ask questions here if they have questions on this topic.
Senator Westrom on that, or on?
Mr. Chair, on that, Senator Kunesh, can you explain the unemployment then for this, that will be for the workers? So who's all covered by that? And is it, so all the summer months they'd be qualified or getting unemployment? Who's all in that group?
Yep. These are for our school hourly workers, so the paras, any of the educational assistants, cafeteria, lunch, food providers, bus drivers, all of those folks would be, if they're hourly employed, they would be eligible for this unemployment. It's our hope that the schools will, of course, provide summer programming for our students, and that they would continue to employ these hourly workers. And if they are not able to do it, these hourly workers would be eligible, like many other hourly workers outside of the educational system, to apply for this kind of unemployment insurance. Not only would it allow them to perhaps not have to take another job in the summer and then not come back in the fall. So we're hoping that it will help with retention of those employees, the support of those employees, but also encourage our schools to provide those services during the summer.
And Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, could those employees take another job in the summer, or in the off time they're getting unemployment otherwise?
Go ahead. Senator Westrom, they can take another job, then they're not, unemployment doesn't kick in.
Yeah. If they were to take another job say, go work at a school, at a public library, they would not be eligible for that unemployment.
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, I hope you realize the problem you're creating in what you just gave us for an answer, and that's what I thought it was. We have businesses, nursing homes, literally on the edge of closing down because they can't get enough workers. And so now we're going to incent these very qualified, good workers from getting another job in the summer months or other substantial times throughout the school year that could be a huge help to our small businesses across the state. But now we're going to incent them to be on unemployment, the exact problem we just saw 2 years ago with COVID, incentivizing very capable, able-bodied workers to take and sit on the sideline. And so I hope you understand the problem you're creating by doing this. It's really a reverse incentive that's going to now cost our school districts over $100 million, it looks like. $140 million is what you're booking for them to do this, to take more employees out of the marketplace. And these are good employees that can cover summer tourist areas, construction jobs, painting, services. So I think we got to think about this a little bit more, because it might be well-intentioned, but if you haven't heard about the shortage of labor and staff across every form of employment, that is a real problem. And part of the problem is any incentives we put in place for people to not go take jobs or other jobs that are needed when they could really works against having able-bodied people to work, whether it's nursing homes that need caregivers or restaurants or other services. There's disabled bus driving that bus drivers could certainly do in the summer, and that's what many of them do already. So I'm puzzled why we would do this, but I was afraid that was the answer, but thank you for the honest answer.
Senator Friends.
Thank you very much.
May I respond to that?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator Kunesh. Thanks, Senator Westrom. I think you're talking about the competition for workers, which is a legitimate concern for all of us across all businesses. However, this addresses an additional concern, which is we're losing these school employees because they bail on us once the summertime hits. And of course, unemployment under Minnesota law simply means a Minnesota worker who is physically able to perform and for whom work is not available. We're simply creating a category of Minnesota workers that would be eligible for unemployment. We're doing nothing that prevents them from working for those businesses that you mentioned. And as an employer, I share your concern that we're creating competition, but I think the reason this is valuable is it allows these school districts to maintain these valuable employees year-round, and they're losing some of them now, including a lot of them in greater Minnesota. So with that, it has my support, Senator Kunesh. Thank you, Senator Westrom. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just want to point out that these are able-bodied people. These are persons. These are individuals that really do a hard work, a hard job in our schools. And I guess to boil it down to looking at them as filling in all the gaps that is ailing our job market right now is, I take a little bit of offense to that. You have to remember that these are oftentimes grandmas and grandpas who help with childcare during the summer. These are folks that maybe want to be home with their own kids, and should they decide not to take that unemployment and not work in one of those areas that you were talking about, that's their personal choice. Let's remember that unemployment would only provide about 50% of what they were earning at an hourly wage. In some schools, if they're making $17 an hour, they're lucky. So if you're going to begrudge them $8.50 an hour during the summer, and they're able to be home because there is not a job for them at their school. Maybe they're able to be home with their own kids. Maybe they're able to provide daycare for other family members during the summer. Maybe they're able to take their kids to the park and supervise them, or take them to museums and libraries. And so, categorizing these able-bodied workers to fill in all the gaps during the summer, I just, that's a hard thing for me to hear and understand.
Senator Westrom.
Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, Senator French just talked about it. I think you touched on it. This is only in place if there is no other job for them to take. But is this requirement the only job that they can have to take is an exact para job or bus driving job at the school? Is that the criteria?
If they were offered a job or a position during the summer by their school district and they accepted it, then they would be employed. If let's say that program was only for 6 weeks, during the other time that they are not employed up until the school district, or until school starts, they would be eligible to do that. Or if the school does not offer them a position, they would be eligible for that.
So Mr. Chair and Senator Kunesh, I imagine the Jobs Committee would look at this a lot closer, and so it's probably pretty important that they should. But Senator Kunesh, doesn't most unemployment work that you have to be out seeking employment if you're going to apply for it, and you, in the pursuit of seeking employment, you get turned down or you can't find another job? Isn't that the premise before you can qualify and apply for unemployment?
I would believe so.
So, Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, you're saying the only job they can have to apply for is one the school district offers. So if the public library has a summer kids reading program that a para could do, you're saying they don't have to apply for that. They only have to apply for a job in the school district. And if there's a public library job in town for the summer, that's not a job that they would have to apply for under this unemployment? So it would be a special type of unemployment we're giving them?
Senator Westrom, this is the same type of unemployment. They would have to apply for other jobs. If they
Okay.
don't want to work, they don't.
So, Mr. Chair, that's different than what she was just explaining to me. So that's why I wanted to clarify this. So my point is, Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, your explanation was that if the school offered them a job, then they wouldn't have to go back, wouldn't find another job. But the reality is, this is the same unemployment everybody else would go through, which is they have to look for other work, and this is the fallback. But there is, I don't know if there's a place in this state that there wouldn't be other jobs to be found. And so at this point in time, to put a $140 million burden on our school districts, with this new mandate, will take it away from student class sizes or other discretionary funding for the school districts. And I'm hearing from my superintendents and school board members saying, don't send us all these mandates with any new money, because it doesn't do us any good if we have our hands tied. And so this looks to me like something we need to explore a lot more. And Mr. Chair, hearing that you didn't go through the Jobs Committee, that is concerning. That's where this should have been dissected a lot closer. But in this market, I really think we need to think twice about having a reverse incentive to give benefits when we've got so many people needing worthy jobs filled that other people's lives depend on. And we're saying we're going to, what you're saying in your testimony was, we're going to rather pay them to not work so they can spend time doing other things in the summer. And that's a nice thing to do. I realize that. I'm a parent, you're a parent. We all like to do that, but we all have to juggle it with the reality of you also need to feed the family and build build those assets when you are capable and able in your working years. And so I think we need to talk about this a whole lot more, but thank you for the insight and the explanation.
Further discussion on the bill. Senator Draheim and then Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Chair Marty and Senator Kunesh. Good discussion, like always, in this committee. You know, we were talking about UI a little bit and how you had figured that into the formula. Are there other things that you figured into the formula that aren't in this bill?
I think we did. I don't think we did, Mr. Chair, just the UI.
So, Mr. Chair, thank you.
Senator Draheim.
So the paid family medical leave and the earned sick time is not calculated, the fiscal cost in your bill, is that correct?
It is not in my bill, so no, it is not figured into here.
And Mr. Chair, Senator Kunesh, and you had figured about 2% for the UI?
Approximately, yep.
Yeah. So if paid family medical leave and earned sick times and a cost, the school districts, I would say probably half of what UI is. So your 2% probably, we could probably add another 1% then, right? If paid family medical leave is going to cost the schools and earned sick time, the number I'm hearing is $50,000 to $65,000 just for paid family medical leave. So then could we say another 1% out of your formula would go to pay for that?
I don't have that information, so I couldn't affirm that. And it's not included in the bills, so that's not calculated into this.
Senator Draheim.
I'm good, thank you.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, Senator Kunesh, I certainly understand, and, having been involved with the schools for a long time, I appreciated, all of our hourly workers, our non-certified workers, bus drivers. If a bus driver was with a private corporation, would they qualify for this benefit?
I don't believe through the school district, but perhaps through the company that they work for. That would be up to them.
I actually think the school bus drivers or the private companies are covered for this, but I'm not, Ms. Hofer is saying the same. I think the private ones are, it's only the ones who work directly for the school district that are not. That's one of the inequities in the system. Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have, and I don't believe the school bus drivers for the private companies are covered because these positions have typically been classified as seasonal work. And seasonal work does not normally follow or qualify for unemployment. If you are expected to work from September until June, then that is your expected work year, and that is your season. The unemployment system was never set up to accommodate for that type. And then when I look at lines 14.3, I have some serious concerns that a vacation or holiday recess, if the applicant was employed immediately before the vacation period or holiday recess, and there is a reasonable assurance that the occupant will be employed immediately following the vacation period qualifies, I'm starting to wonder, are we paying unemployment during winter break? These are huge policy issues to the unemployment system, and Senator McEwen's bill was not heard in the Jobs Committee, which the unemployment system is managed by deed. So, Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we refer Senate File 2684 to the Jobs Committee.
Senator Pratt moves that Senate File 2684 be referred to the Jobs Committee. Senator Friends.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator Pratt. I understand for Mr. Nauman that Senator McEwen's bill is in the Jobs Committee, and so I would oppose the motion, notwithstanding the fact that I think discussions about unemployment and workforce availability are a legitimate province in the Finance Committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator Pratt.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. While the bill may be in the Jobs Committee, Senator Frantz, it hasn't been heard, it hasn't been debated, it hasn't been vetted. And therefore, it would be unreasonable for us to pass this bill with these changes in it out to the Senate floor without having that hearing in the Jobs Committee, vetting through some of these concerns.
Senator Champion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the robust discussion around this issue. And let me just clarify a couple of things or address a couple of issues that I've heard and I needed to verify. One is that even if a person is getting unemployment or seeking unemployment, they still have to demonstrate that they are looking for a job, but they are not required just to take any job. So that we're clear there. Here, in this context, it's a little different because of the experience rating and whether that would be impacted and so on and so forth. That is something. Now, as it pertains to the Jobs Committee, 60% of the people who are on the Jobs Committee has heard this bill in some shape, form, or fashion. I did go and look at that even before now in order to determine if this should be something that the Jobs Committee should look at. And I'm not really feeling like it should unless we, think that there's something else, mainly also because the funding and everything is handled in the education realm and is not really handled through the normal channels of, let me say, the Jobs Committee. So that's the only reason why I thought that it probably wouldn't need to come through the Jobs Committee and that it would be better handled going through education.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, Senator Champion, if we were talking just about the funding and the requirement that the school districts had to pay into the UI system, I might agree with you. But there is a specific change to Chapter 268, which is in the jurisdiction of the Jobs Committee. And while maybe some members have heard this bill in the past, I don't know that we've had specific debate and discussion over these provisions. And if Senate File 2684 is going to make changes to Chapter 268, then it should be heard and debated within the Jobs Committee. And that reference to Chapter 268 begins on line 13.29. So I think, Senator Champion, I would disagree with your assessment that it's wholly handled within the Education Committee because it is, in fact, touching a chapter that's under your jurisdiction.
Senator Champion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity to speak again, and thank you, Senator Pratt, for raising this issue. Again, if you look at the provision that Senator Pratt is referring to, it talks about the district and levy, and it's talking about its authority related to the folks that they manage, right? And so I think it is better handled in the Education Committee, again, because I'm making and drawing that nexus to funding, which is coming through education. It's related to their compensatory numbers, the whole 9 yards, are not necessarily through jobs.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, Senator Champion, you are referring to Section 17, Subdivision 2 on the levy piece, but I'm talking about Section 18, which is specifically to Chapter 268. So I think we're talking, and makes changes to significant changes to Chapter 268, beginning on line 13.29 and going all the way through lines 15.26. So, Mr. Chair, I would respectfully disagree with my colleague in that this does in fact fall directly under the jurisdiction of the Department of Employment and Economic Development and should be heard by the Jobs Committee. Just because the underlying bill was referred to the Jobs Committee but never heard doesn't mean that it clears the path for this bill to move forward without making the appropriate stop.
On Senator Pratt's motion that Senate File 2684 be referred to the Jobs Committee. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Motion does not prevail. Senator Kunesh, on Senate File 2684, any other comments?
I appreciate the good questions and the dissection of this bill. Every time I go through this, I learn more about it myself as well, and I appreciate the good sense of what this bill is all about, making sure that our students going forward, that our kids in our classrooms, our teachers have the funds that they need. We have good administrators in our schools. I know it's not an easy job for them either. And so with this, as everybody says, historical amount of money. Yes, there are going to be some responsibilities that are connected to these dollars to ensure that those dollars are getting to the classroom, to the teachers in the best way. This was the best bill that we could put together with the dollars that we had, and I would appreciate all of your support.
And Senator Kunesh, I appreciate the investment you're making in student support personnel aid. I mean, that with the mental health and all the other ancillary things that help students learn, I think is appropriate. And again, you've made some big investments in the special ed cost subsidy and ELL and so on. So I really appreciate that. Is there further discussion on the bill? Senator Pratt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, Mr. Chair, after going through a long campaign of fully funding education, I've got to say that this is a bill that falls far short of that. A 4% increase in the first year is decent, but falls far short of what we've been asked for by our educators.
Yep.
And a 5% increase, of which nearly half of it is not going to the classroom to help reduce class sizes, is not going to teacher pay, is not fully funding education. And Senator Kunesh, I think your bill has fallen far short of what our local school districts, our local schools, and our students need. I've always said that when we put our students first, there's four things that we need to make sure that we have. That's a great teacher in the classroom. That's making sure they have the tools to be successful in the classroom, that they have stable, reliable funding, and that they have community and parent support. This is supposed to be the leg that shows stable and reliable funding. And this is where I think when we look at a net 3% increase in the second year, after promising to fully fund education, this bill falls far short and does not meet the expectations that Minnesota families expect the Minnesota Senate to be putting forward, and I would encourage members to vote no.
Senator Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's always amazing to me how people can look at something and draw such different conclusions. I'm excited about this proposal. It is an important addition to the work that this legislature is doing with regard to kids, students, and learning. One of the things I was most excited about on November the 9th, the day after the election, was knowing that Senator Kunesh would have strong responsibility for the budget around education. And while I didn't know that you were going to be at the chair at the time, I knew that your experience as an educator, as a librarian, and as someone who's dedicated her whole career and much of her life to the well-being of kids, that this important part of our work was going to be in really great hands, and you have ushered your vision through into this proposal. It's so important for our future, and I am so delighted to support it today, and I want to thank you for everything that you've done, and know that I am with you in this fight all the way through to the end to make sure that our schools are getting the funding that they need and they deserve. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Senator Murphy.
Senator Friends.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Senator Kunesh, thank you. Thank you for the work you've all done. It's an outstanding bill, but don't just take my word for it. The superintendent of Mankato Area Public Schools is a friend of mine and a neighbor, Paul Peterson. He just texted us after reviewing all the runs. Capitals, thank you. This will make a big difference for kids in Mankato and across the state. Look forward to voting yes.
Senator Murphy moves Senate File 2684 as amended be recommended to pass. On that motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Motion prevails. Senator Kunesh, you and Ms. Hofer and Ms. Yeltes and
Ms.
Ms. Lewis and Anna and Sammy, everybody, thank you all for all the hard work on this. We will continue with that. This committee, we had the time set aside for tomorrow, but I think we will probably not meet tomorrow or Friday. What? Okay, we can meet tomorrow, too. We could meet at 7 in the morning. Senator Westrom.
Mr. Chair, just the transportation bill, is that in the future?
Sure, yes,
agenda?
that is the one big one we have yet, and I think that will be probably next Monday. I'm not sure, I don't want to commit to that, I'm not sure about days on that. We also have to take up two other fairly significant bills that could take some time, one of which is the cannabis bill, and one of which is paid family medical leave. Those will be, and we have a couple of smaller bills too, but those would be next week.
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, pretty certain not tomorrow or Friday?
We will not meet tomorrow or Friday.
Okay.
So you have a day or two off. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.